The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Going up top. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Hey, go orange. Orange. Hey, Echo.
3 buzz. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
Hey, ready.
Following the interception here, Rivers. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. Artie Burns, former first-rounder, there to break that one up. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, check Mike 21.
Throwing again. Rivers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Rivers. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards, the final tally.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Now Gordon on first down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Number 53, Mike 53.
Run 80. Shift.
On 2nd down, it's Gordon. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Gordon, a Pro Bowler for the 2nd time last season, 885 yards, 10 touchdowns. And that was only in 12 games played a season ago. And he also switched jersey numbers in the offseason from 28 to 25. And 25, that's the number he wore when he was dominating the Big Ten college gridiron for the Badgers of Wisconsin. 3rd and short yardage, Rivers. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
First and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end.
Whoa!
Tight end's right.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you.
On 1st and 10 is Connor.
Got you, boy.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Taken in by Switzer on the left side. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Slide 80.
7, Mike 57. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Flash, I said.
Mike 57. Watch the run.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Travis Benjamin deep for the Chargers. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's go.
Wait, 89.
Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Set. 180. Keep it skinny.
Hey, watch your lane. Hey, check Mike 21. Mike 21. Check Mike.
Hey, Delta.
All day. Hey, check Mike 21.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Roethlisberger now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. On the left side, it's McDonald. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over.
And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Leonard Floyd. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD. He is a difference maker at the linebacker position. He had a pick 6 last year, remember it. But it's different for those guys, isn't it, than a corner or a safety?
It certainly is, because sometimes they're pattern reading, seeing what the receivers are doing. Sometimes they're spot dropping, just getting to a place on the field and finding the quarterback and going to the ball. But remember this, these linebackers, at one time in their life, a lot of them were running backs. And they love having the ball back in their hands and making big moves towards the end zone.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback. But you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Desmond King picks it. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. Gordon loses the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now Gordon. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
There goes Melvin Gordon. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it? Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing it.
They run it here with Gordon. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
The busy night continues for Gordon as he gets it here. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play, they were able to make the stop.
And you knew they were going to go to him to try to get that 4th.
And why wouldn't they? It's not just getting the 4th. He's the hot hand, so to speak, right? The hot feet in this situation. And he knows how to find the end zone. That time, he just didn't get there.
Badgley able to punch this one through. The Chargers, a team that's really been plagued by poor field goal kicking the last decade or so, but I think they feel they've solved their problems with Badgley.
I would say so. He went 15 for 16 in 10 games last season, undrafted out of Miami. And remember, he had 5 field goals in the playoffs against the Baltimore Ravens.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And it'll be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football.
There goes Melvin Gordon. He's at the 40, past the 20. Touchdown, LA! Melvin Gordon, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Jerry Tillery in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. Another try after the 1st down sack. Roethlisberger. And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Gordon. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 6, now second and 4.
All right, T, let's all right, T.
Wait, 89!
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, this is Melvin Gordon. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him.
390!
21, check back 21. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. He's crashing.
Keep it skinny! Look!
On first down, Gordon. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 23-yard line.
Set 180! 190!
Check back 21. Right here, right here.
Running right, it's a handoff to Gordon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
2 yards leads to 3rd down and 14.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14.
Let him know, let him know.
12.
Hey, check Mike 21.
A toss play, Gordon. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Michael Badgley on for the field goal. A 42-yard attempt.
Badgley able to knock this one through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
First down, Pittsburgh.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And McDonald here over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a first down. Roethlisberger now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Roethlisberger. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
And with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This is Gordon. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, Rocket.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Here's Gordon. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
Badgley's kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along.
And nothing but daylight ahead. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. That kickoff return, 104 yards. And the Steelers are able to get a score back. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Are you're going slow clap on me?
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. And this will not work out. The Chargers able to recover. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
They'll run on first down. It's Gordon, and an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So that'll back them up 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On second down now, it's Gordon. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. On third down, Rivers. Hunter Henry brings it in. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 22-yard line. Well, last year, Henry really looked poised for a prime breakout season, but then May 22nd, tore his ACL during OTAs, ruled out for the year. Actually was added to the active roster in a pretty heroic return for their playoff clash with New England, but did not play. 29 career games for Henry, 12 touchdowns, and now with Antonio Gates' career coming to a close, they expect a lot out of the 24-year-old Hunter Henry. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
The Chargers on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This will be 3rd and 5. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Hey, Brown 80!
Check Mike 21. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
White, 89.
Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard judgment.
And my goodness, another interception. Desmond King picks it, and the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Good night, everybody.